So, welcome everyone. So, now I'll start this very important chapter of your syllabus, and this entire thing is a separate module only. So it's a very big chapter also, and from here that's why as it's a very big chapter, it contains a lot of marks also. So quantum physics. So what is quanta means, I mean, how, where from this word quantum is coming? Actually quantum is coming from the word quanta. Quantum means basically very small, not particle, but quantum means it denotes a very small thing. Okay, so uh, I mean, how actually this thing quantum physics or quantum mechanics came? So physics is actually gradually evolving. Okay, at first Newton was the one who discovered what? Classical mechanics. Okay, now everything was every phenomena was described in the form of this classical mechanics. Then came the Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. Okay, Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. This was also basically this thing. All the what to say? All the assumptions were made according to classical theory only. Okay. Now what happens towards the end? Towards the end of the what to say, towards the end of the 20th century, certain very great discoveries were made. Like what? Like first was X-ray by Röntgen in the year of 1895. Then there was radioactivity was discovered by Becquerel in the year of 1896. Then there was Zeeman effect. Zeeman effect was discovered by Zeeman in the year of, again the same year, 1896. Then the very important discovery of electron, that was discovered by everybody, one of you must know, J.J. Thomson. This is very important. This can be asked in your lab viva. J.J. Thomson discovered electron in the year of 1897. Okay, now actually these phenomena could not be explained by classical theory and the electro EM theory. This could not be explained by the classical theory and EM theory. Okay, now uh, then what happened? Then there was the discovery of black body radiation. Actually, it was discovered by two scientists called Langmuir and Pringsheim in the year around 1900. Okay, in the year around 1900, Langmuir and Pringsheim discovered the black body radiation. Yeah, in 1899, Langmuir and Pringsheim uh, did the experiments on intensity distribution of black body radiation. 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 Okay, now from here actually this I mean the modifications of here started. Okay, uh, I mean then yeah, this was not again this was not I mean not explained by classical theory again, classical theory, see classical mechanics. Then in the year 1900, Rayleigh and Jeans tried to explain it, but succeeded partially. Okay, succeeded partially. Okay, then ultimately in the year of in the year of 1905 in the year of 1905 in the year of 1905 Max Planck and Max Planck explained it by a theory, okay, by a theory of quantum theory of radiation. Quantum theory of radiation. Quantum theory of radiation. Okay, so I'll basically start from the black body radiation part. Now one thing I must describe first is quantum mechanics and classical mechanics. What are the basic difference between them? Okay, basic differences between them. So basic differences. So quantum mechanics is for microscopic objects. Classical mechanics is for macroscopic objects. Okay, quantum mechanics is for microscopic objects. For example, like all these were discovered. See, X-ray, radioactivity, Zeeman effect, electron. These all are what? Radioactivity. Here, this alpha particles, beta particles are emitted. X-ray, they are the high velocity electrons when collide with the plate, then they emit X-rays. Those are also microscopic particles. Electron definitely is microscopic particles. Okay, so these are microscopic objects. Now macroscopic object, classical mechanics is for macroscopic objects, like you all the students, me, and all macroscopic objects. Okay, the microscopic objects are all the atomic particles, and since microscopic objects, here the velocity is comparable to the velocity of light for microscopic objects. And macroscopic objects, basically velocity is much less than the velocity of light, that is c. Okay, for microscopic objects velocity is very high. It's comparable to the wavelength of light, and macroscopic velocity is much less than the velocity of light. Okay, and another thing is that in these microscopic objects, in quantum mechanics, everything is uncertain. Okay, macroscopic objects, it is certain, means for example, you can I mean when you are starting from, say, now although everybody are in home, suppose you are starting from Haldia by a SBSTC bus, you can definitely predict that if there is no jam, then you will reach Kolkata by 2.5 hours. But in quantum mechanics, you cannot predict. Okay, you cannot predict the means, that is, you cannot predict the position and the momentum. Okay, cannot uh, specify the position and momentum, cannot specify the position, momentum and energy, everything, anything. Okay, and here you can definitely specify that. Okay, like I mean, for macroscopic, the speed of the SBSTC bus is something around 100 kilometer per hour, but you cannot predict the speed or the position, means at this position, at this time it will be in this position, at this time it will be in another position. You cannot predict that. So these are the basic differences between quantum mechanics and classical mechanics. Okay, so now let us start with black body. Since all of the problems have started from here, means you cannot describe the intensity distribution of black body. So uh, let us start from the means the problem is happening, means the black body radiation, the intensity distribution of black body cannot be described by the classical mechanical consideration. So let us start from this black body. What is happening here? So what is this? Again, every one of you have studied in maybe before class 12 only, that how does a black body look like. Okay, so it is something like this. Okay, this is a double walled, this is a double walled metallic chamber. This is a double walled metallic chamber. Okay, here there is a small aperture here, and here this is the small, this triangular shaped substance is here. Why it is kept here? So that if a ray of light is coming, it doesn't get completely reflected. Okay, so suppose now a ray of light is incident like this. A ray of light is incident. So what will happen? This is these walls, the walls of this here, these walls are coated by a substance called as lamp black. Okay, and since this is metallic chamber, these are all reflective in nature, and this is coated with a substance called as lamp black. Okay, by a substance called as lamp black. Achha, now what will happen when light comes here? It will be reflected. It will be reflected like this. Again from here it will face one reflection. Again it will come here. Again it will be reflected from it will hit here. Again it will hit here. Like this, it will come and get reflected. There will be multiple reflections like this. Okay, there will be multiple reflections like this, and ultimately what will happen? Ultimately the entire radiation will be absorbed. Ultimately it will be absorbed. Okay, so this is actually a black body, and this is a double walled chamber, and this is evacuated. Why is this evacuated? So that this I mean this much region, it acts as a bad conductor, so that I mean the amount of heat stored, it is not liberated out because of conduction. Oh, this is a bad conductor. This is a bad conductor. This acts as a bad conductor since it is evacuated. Okay, so there is vacuum here, so it acts as a bad conductor. So ultimately this will be all the lights will be absorbed here. Okay, so I mean, then if you insert more light, they will be again more absorbed. Okay, so in this way, thus the light is completely absorbed, so it has absorptive power. Absorptive power is almost equal to 1. Okay, now what happens? The black body is heated. The black body is heated. So what is actually a black body? What is a black body? A black body absorbs radiation, of all wavelength and emits radiation of all wavelength. Okay, absorbs radiation of all wavelength and emits radiation of all wavelength. Okay, so now the black body is heated. So now when the black body will be heated, when what will happen? See, the absorbs radiation of all wavelength and emits radiation of all wavelength. So it will emit radiation of all wavelength. When the black body is heated, it will emit radiation of all wavelength. Now that if you if you plot the if you plot the intensity, okay, if you plot the intensity of radiation or the E lambda, this is called as the intensity of radiation, or it can also be told as the emissive power, So if you plot E lambda versus lambda, okay, what will happen? You will get a distribution, means you will get a the distribution like this. So what happens? Suppose it is heated at different temperatures. Okay, the black body is heated at different temperatures. Suppose say this one is T1, this one is T1, this one is T2, and this one is T3, where T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1. Okay, so what will happen? You will see here that the intensity of radiation, means this is for the lowest temperature T1. When it is heated at the lowest temperature T1, the intensity varies like this. So gradually it increases, and it attains a maximum at a certain point called as the lambda m. Okay, so lambda m also varies for different. Then for T2 the lambda m is here, it is the lambda m, and for T3 the lambda m is here. Okay, so T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1. So gradually the lambda m shifts towards the left side. Okay, so there is a law called as the Rayleigh called as the Wien's displacement law. According to the Wien's displacement law, what is the Wien's displacement law? Lambda m into T is equal to constant. Okay, lambda m into T is equal to constant, where the value of the constant is 2.898 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter Kelvin. 10 raised to minus 3 meter Kelvin. This is the Wien's displacement here. Okay, now you see, like give an example. Just you take an iron rod. Okay, you take an iron rod. If you hit the iron rod, at first, what will happen if you hit the iron rod? At first, it will turn red. The iron rod, if you hit the iron rod, at first it will turn red. Then gradually it will turn orange, and then ultimately it will turn white. Okay, at first the uh, so if you hit an iron rod, at first it will turn red. Okay, then gradually when you hit more, okay, when you hit more, so it will it will become orange. Okay, and then ultimately it will become white. White means then at that wavelength, at that temperature, it will emit light of all wavelength. Okay, it will emit light of all wavelength. So what happens here is that it can be divided into three regions. Okay, say this region is called as the UV region. Okay, then this region is called as the visible region, and this region after this is called as the IR region, infrared region. Okay, UV, visible and infrared. UV, visible and infrared. Okay, then there is the Stefan Boltzmann law. Okay, Stefan Boltzmann law. What is the Stefan Boltzmann law? Stefan Boltzmann law states that the total emissive power emissive power radiated total emissive power radiated per unit area of per unit area of a black body. Okay, total emissive power of a black body, that is E lambda. E lambda is equal to sigma into T to the power 4. Sigma into T to the power 4, where sigma is called as the Stefan Boltzmann constant. Okay, it's called as the Stefan Boltzmann constant, and the value of that is equal to 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 8 watt. Okay, W for watt per meter square per Kelvin to the power minus 4. Okay, this is the thing, and this actually the total emissive power is not E lambda, but it is E. It is E, where ET, where E, when E within bracket T, where ET is written as 0 to infinity E lambda T, that is the emissive power at for a particular wavelength at a particular temperature, E lambda T into D lambda. Okay, E lambda T into D lambda. Emissive power is what? Emissive power of a body or a black body of a body is the amount of radiant energy, which is emitted per unit area, per unit area of its surface, per unit area of its surface normally into a solid angle per unit time per unit time per unit range of wavelength, per unit range of wavelength. Emissive power of a body is the amount of radiant energy which is emitted per unit area of its surface normally into a solid angle per unit time per unit range of wavelength. Okay, this is the emissive power of a body. Now this has been about uh, the the lambda m. This is the maximum wavelength for the wavelength for which you are getting the maximum emissive power, and the total emissive power. These two formulas you have got. Okay, what about the intensity distribution? Okay, now this WVN in 1896, okay, gave an empirical relation, okay, that is empirical relation means I mean just he's postulated one thing. There is no mathematical derivation about this. Okay, empirical relation from thermodynamical consideration. WN gave an empirical relation from thermodynamical consideration. What was the relation? The relation was E lambda T into D lambda is equal to A by lambda to the power 5 F of lambda T into D lambda. Okay, this was the relation. Now this was the relation where A is the constant, where A is a constant, okay, and f lambda t and f lambda t is a function of lambda and t. F lambda is a function of lambda and t. Okay, this is known as the Wien's distribution law. This is known as the Wien's distribution law. Okay, this is known as the Wien's distribution law or Wien's radiation law. Wien's distribution law or Wien's radiation law. Wien's radiation law means what is this relation? That is the curve. Means he gave a relation about the intensity distribution. That is E lambda versus lambda, which I had drawn. E lambda versus lambda I had drawn here. So that relation he tried to give. E lambda versus lambda. There is a small empirical relation. Okay, there is a Wien's distribution law or Wien's radiation law. Now again, this has to be this has to be confirmed with the experimental result. Now it is seen that if you plot this E lambda versus lambda, experimental curve, how is the experimental curve? It is like this type of curve. Okay, this is the experimental curve. Now according to theory, what happens? According to the theory, for lower wavelength it is all right, but for higher wavelength it becomes like this. Higher wavelength, the value of E lambda is little bit small. Okay, the value of E lambda is little bit small. This is the Wien's distribution law. Okay, so what happens? that this fails actually. This ultimately this fails to to prove the intensity distribution, fails to prove the intensity distribution. Okay.